A transgender man who has given birth says he finally feels complete after wanting a baby for 6 years. Reuben Sharpe, 39, transitioned to a man 12 years ago, taking hormones which gave him facial hair, a deep voice and masculine features. Mr. Sharpe and his non-binary partner Jay, 28, who identifies as neither male or female, were helped by a trans doctor and a trans sperm donor. After realizing he wanted a child, Mr. Sharpe visited his doctor and was told that he would be able to give birth as he still had his womb and ovaries. "It wasn't that I was desperate to have the birthing experience or pregnancy experience, but I wanted a child and I had the facility to do it," he told the Sunday Mirror. The wedding photographer, who lives in Brighton, took a break from his testosterone medication so he could undergo fertility treatment when the time was right. Years later, Mr. Sharpe met Jay in a pub and the pair began seeing each other. Mr. Sharpe said, "After a few months I started getting nervous, realizing I was planning to have a kid. I'd been building towards it for 3 years to this point. I realized I would have to talk to them. If they didn't want kids we'd have to break up. I managed to bring up the subject but luckily Jay was open to the idea." The pair began the process of trying for a baby, which meant Mr. Sharpe's hormone and fertility levels were monitored. Although a friend offered to carry the baby if necessary, there was then a breakthrough. "I woke up the next morning and my period had started for the first time in 6 years, Mr. Sharpe said. "It was such a relief. It's weird, but I knew it was the start of something I wanted so badly." The couple chose to have intrauterine insemination, IUI, treatment at a private fertility clinic, which meant sperm would be inserted into Mr. Sharpe's womb by a doctor. But they needed a sperm donor, so messaged a female trans friend over Facebook to ask if they would like to donate. The friend agreed and they began the fertility treatment, which costs £6,000 for 3 rounds. "The first round didn't work," Mr. Sharpe said. "They gave me a fertility injection and I released too many eggs. We couldn't go through with that attempt as we could have ended up with 6 children. Deflated, we became convinced it wasn't going to work. We tried a second time and the earliest point I could test was on my birthday. We'd been on edge for weeks. I did the test, ignored it and went to brush my teeth. Suddenly Jay was shouting me into the room and telling me to look, it was a positive result." The pair were helped by midwives at Royal Sussex County Hospital and Mr. Sharpe delivered his baby via caesarean section. "It's taken 6 years to get this far, but now we have a baby in our arms and that was the end goal. I finally feel complete," Mr. Sharpe said. "I don't think pregnancy is the ultimate female experience, therefore it didn't challenge me as a man. It doesn't make a woman less of a woman if she's not keen on pregnancy, infertile, doesn't want a baby. This isn't a trans issue, it affects everyone.